Core Keeper is getting another major expansion with the Bugs and Blasts update, adding a lot of new items and features. Now it's a great time to return to the game and adventure through this underworld again. But what if you want to take a break without changing the vibes? Don't worry, I've carefully selected 10 games that are really close to Core Keeper, not only visually but also in terms of atmosphere. Of course, there are games you probably already know, but that's okay, maybe this time you will be more interested in this title. So grab your snacks, relax, and let me show you what I've prepared. Let's start the list with Crashlands. This game is really amazing. It has a great story, gameplay and comedy elements. It offers a lot of freedom, tons of items, crafting schematics, building opportunities and tameable creatures. Yes, this game is also somewhat a monster taming game, where you can find eggs, hatch them and have your own monster by your side. You can craft items for them and make them even stronger. Your main goal is to become stronger, survive, defeat bosses and explore the world. This game heavily focuses on crafting, combat and exploration and has graphics somewhat similar to Don't Starve. So if you're looking for something that merges the core progression of Terraria and Core Keeper with some monster taming elements, lots of crafting and a vibe similar to Don't Starve, then try this one. It is not easy to find games really close to Core Keeper, and this one is a perfect example, but it is a game rather old and kinda unknown, so listen carefully. Junk Jack is a game that looks really similar aesthetically to Terraria, but it offers something a bit different from what Core Keeper has to offer. I mean, there's still your good old progression system where you find resources and upgrade your items, but what makes this game different is its stronger focus on building your world. Yes, you will explore 12 planets with diverse biomes, resources and challenges, collect tons of cosmetic items and building blocks, fight some enemies and bosses, farm, collect pet companions, fish and so on. This game has one of the more accessible building systems, more accessible than Terraria for example, due to huge building blocks you can use. This game leans more towards the collecting and building genre, so it's more like Minecraft to be honest, but it's still a good game if you're looking for something kinda similar to the core gameplay of Core Keeper, and by that I mean the progression, while wanting to relax more. Now something closer, but still a bit different. This time we've got a dwarven roguelike in which you take control of a dwarf and jump into dungeons to find loot and hoard treasures. The idea of exploring the underworld is kinda similar, and the strong focus on combat and loot is also there. The thing is, this game lacks the survival aspects of Core Keeper, because instead of building your own base on the map, you will return with your riches, or just die and respawn, in the Dwarven Kingdom, which serves as your operation base. There you will store your treasures, upgrade your character, craft items and even acquire new companions. Then you will jump into the cave again, exploring diverse biomes and fighting dangerous monsters to bring back even more loot, or fall and lose everything. Yes, this game is really punishing, and in terms of difficulty, combat and loot gathering it is really good. However, it lacks some core gameplay mechanics from the genre where we can place Core Keeper. So yeah, that's my pick. Up to you to decide if you're interested. Novalands is a factory building and exploration survival game. The pixel art is amazing and it all looks very cozy and warm. The developer describes this game as a mix of Factorio, Forager and Satisfactory, and you can see it right away. Our job is to build a new base on our planet using all available resources, from basic rocks and wood to unknown materials that we can find on our way. In the future, as we expand and upgrade our base, we will automate everything using bots, little machines that will form entire production chains. Apart from that, we will explore surrounding lands, get to know the local flora and fauna, and fight monsters and bosses. This is a very relaxing experience, full of stuff to uncover and things to do, so I highly recommend this game if you're looking for something on the automation side and with space-ish vibes. Now a game you probably already know, but I couldn't leave it out, just in case there is someone who doesn't know about it and it might just change your life. This is easily one of the best in its genre. It merges survival, crafting and coziness in a beautiful pixel art style. You play in a world of islands that you buy as you progress. It's filled with adventure, monsters, magic and resources. Your job is to build your base, gather more resources, upgrade and expand. You will explore different biomes like deserts, complete dungeons, harvest crops, hunt for food and progress. This title is amazing, has a lot to offer and will get you hooked. If you're looking for a lightweight game with great gameplay and a cozy atmosphere and more about resource gathering and exploration, then Forager is a great pick. Starbound leans more toward the Terraria side, but at its core it's very similar to Core Keeper, just as Terraria is. This game is basically a space Terraria with beautiful pixel art and a heavy focus on combat and exploration. Of course, there's more to it, like building your base, crafting items, gathering materials, and so on. It really is a great experience with an interesting storyline, but that's for you to decide. Some like it, some don't. Unfortunately, this game was brutally abandoned and the only way to get new updates, content and expand your fun is through mods. The good thing is that the modding community has really stepped up, keeping this title alive. This was a great game with a lot of heart and potential. Still, it's one of the best games you can play if you're looking for a similar vibe to Core Keeper or Terraria, but want something more at its core and different from what Terraria offers. So grab it and try it. Next up is Keplerth, and this one is like if RimWorld and Terraria had a child. Aesthetically, this title may not look very appealing to many of you due to its rather simple graphical style, scarce animations and so on, but deep inside it is a very good, very complex sandbox RPG that has the same soul as Core Keeper. Your job is to survive, build, farm, fight and explore. The world is purely randomized with lots of interesting biomes, monsters, locations and dungeons. There is also a very complex gene system, which is like a skill tree, but instead of just assigning points, you will modify your genetics to gain access to a mix of interesting perks. Apart from that, there is a farming system in which you will cultivate your crops, pets and mounts, as well as lots of items, enemies to fight and adventures to live through. This game is really amazing, and if you're looking for something more focused on surviving rather than boss hunting, then this one is amazing, trust me. Okay, this one is wild. If you really want something like Core Keeper, then Return from Core is your best bet. This is literally Core Keeper but in different clothes. There is underground exploration, building, farming, automation, and get ready for this, monster girls. Yep, monster girl companions, humanoid hybrids with powerful abilities and supernatural traits. You will gain their favor and use their skills for your quest to get to the surface. Apart from that, there is a typical progression system in which you will find and gather new resources to make stronger gear, create more automated processes and explore beautiful underground biomes. Heads up, there is a lot of negative feedback referring to a rather shaky English translation, so be prepared. Now, one of the best games in my opinion on this list. Arguably this title could be in #1 spot, but that's a personal preference, to be honest. It's like Terraria but top down with colony management, automation and farming sim elements. It's a complex mix of genres, merging the challenge and RPG feel of Terraria with survival elements and one of the best known mechanics from colony sims where you build your own village and manage villagers. It also includes automation where you set up jobs for villagers to create bustling settlements, and farming sim elements with base building, farming, raising animals and more. Of course, there are tons of quests, items, monsters and bosses along with a lot of crafting recipes, management and a great soundtrack. This is a hidden gem, seriously, and if you're looking for the closest experience, then Necesse is your go-to game. And before we jump to spot #1, I've prepared 5 additional games as honorable mentions. And last but not least, a game that many of you probably expected, as Goalkeeper draws a lot from Terraria, and this is what I actually recommend to you the most. Yeah, I know that Terraria may be a lot for many of you, I felt the same for a long time. The thing is, you need to know that Goalkeeper and Terraria have basically the same gameplay core, which is boss hunting progression. In both games you literally look for resources, craft or loot gear, defeat the bosses, find new resources, craft or get even better gear, defeat even stronger bosses, and repeat. The thing is that Terraria is more focused on building, exploration and combat, while Goalkeeper also has a strong emphasis on automation and kind of factory-based farming using automated processes rather than Terraria or Minecraft farming system in which you build kill boxes and so on. Apart from that, I think there is not much more to say about this game, as it is old as hell and very well known. I highly suggest you try Terraria again and see if something has changed for you. And that's everything I prepared for you today. Now I'm gonna play some Goalkeeper, as I haven't had the opportunity to try the new update yet. I also hope you found some great new interesting titles to play, maybe not even as a substitute for Goalkeeper, but just as good games to try. If there is something you would recommend playing, then leave me a comment, or just leave anything that helps the video reach a wider audience. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and if you're interested in even more great indie games, check out my other videos. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.